Patrick, it is lovely to see you again on what's become an annual meeting for us, sir, n'est-ce pas? So we're going to talk today, of course, about Faurecia's 2019 results. Another quite solid year, despite a difficult market. Sales of 17.8 billion, operating margin of 7.2%, net cash flow of 587 million. So how do you feel about what's clearly a solid performance?
I think our teams worldwide did a great job again, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for these results. You have also to put them in perspective. We started the year with a forecast of -1% global manufactured volumes, and we ended up at -6%. And I think, to be able to deal with this situation is quite great. One point I would like to highlight: without Clarion, we would have made 7.4% operating margin.
So these new initiatives, whether it's now or in the near future, are going to be contributing, I imagine, to your new order intake, which is obviously a record again this year, 68 billion over 3 years.
This is the ultimate measurement of total customer satisfaction. Sure. When we get these business awards, it's very important. We also received last year 48 customer recognition awards, which is significant.
Congratulations.
And this, in all the regions. It's not only a very high level of sales, but we did it also with a record level of operating margin.
Right. And in fact, in the new value spaces, there was also an increase from last year.
Yes, we were at 12% in 2018, and we achieved in 2019 17%. We made some interesting order intakes. We won interesting businesses with FCE, for example, our new business group, Clarion Electronics. We achieved 1.9 billion, and when you take high horsepower and commercial vehicles, we achieved 1.6 billion. So it's really, it's showing that the innovations we have shown to our customers are corresponding to their needs and are interesting for them.
2019 was a tough on a lot of levels, particularly in China. What do you see in 2020, and how might Faurecia adapt to the continuing challenges, and what might be new challenges?
We have in China fantastic teams. When we started to see difficulties in 2019, we were a little bit concerned because it was the first time that China really, starting in fact in the second half of 2018, but it was the first time for our teams to see negative figures, negative growth figures, and they reacted. They reacted fantastically. I would like also to say something about this current situation. They are in very difficult situations in the moment, especially in Wuhan, in Hubei. But I'm very confident about how, again, this team will deal with this situation.
And will 2020, would you say, is still a year for continued resilience?
Oh, yeah. Because of what happened in China, for sure.
Sure.
This will penalize the global volumes, the world volumes, in the first half in any case. In the second half, I'm a little bit concerned about Europe and how our customers will manage the CO2 convergence. So there's an uncertainty. We don't know exactly how this will end up. But globally, we are prepared to that. We have deployed this resilience plan. It's in place. Yeah? And this will allow us not to get surprised or not to have to react in an urgency mode. We are doing the things already.
You mentioned at the Capital Markets Day, you've already announced your 2022 objectives. Can you tell me what they are?
We announced sales above 20.5 billion euros, an operating margin at 8%, and a net cash flow representing 4% of sales. And I think it's important for all of us to demonstrate that our business has the potential to achieve these 8% magical figure, 8% operating margin. So we are on track, and we will also launch a few projects which are very much focused on cash generation, which is our main goal. We have to improve.
Sure.
We have to change our culture around cash generation.
Now, completely independent almost of your financial results from year to year, we've met several times and we've talked about Faurecia's convictions. How are these driving your sustainable development goals?
We have decided to be carbon or CO2 neutral in 2030. I've set, the 2030 date just to show about the urgency and
Sure.
about the necessity in our ecosystems to act without losing a minute and to be concrete on improving the situation. In parallel, we have also the Faurecia Foundation. We have gender diversity. We have, these projects. We have set a number of initiatives, of group initiatives, with measurables which are corresponding to each of our convictions. We are moving from shareholders to stakeholders, and I think that we have to satisfy these populations if we want to be considered, if we want to be legitimate in the different communities in which we operate.
Well, Patrick, thank you very much. Congratulations for another solid year. Good luck to the teams for 2020, and hope to see you here in another 12 months.
À l'année prochaine.
À l'année prochaine.
Merci.
Merci à vous.